Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns podcast, and today is September 23rd, 24th, 24th. It's Tuesday. See, I don't know what the date is. When you're retired, you lose dates. I mean, really, people. I did take the roasted tomato and make a divine hat for myself, and I really do love this. It is so soft and I just love the latte cakes. They are just, it's an amazing yarn. One of the other items that I finished was the Z-Twist cowl, and this is one of those that you just wrap repeatedly around. And this is with that Z-Twist. I use 2 skeins because I do like the bigger wraps. And I'm going to tell you, I'm really having a hard time deciding on letting this go. You know that yarn that Crystal of Bag O' Day did a review on, the Boing yarn? This kind of has that kind of memory. And it's just neat. And it's actually very nice, very warm, beautiful. And yeah, so I'm debating on whether to give it up or keep it. So that is a finished item. Like I said, it's got that kind of boing effect. And part of me wants to keep it so I can play with it. But then there's another part of me that says just go buy a skein of the boing and play with the boing and, you know, give it up. So, yeah, I'm trying to decide what to do. This is block number 17 from the Unraveled Mitten, the stash busting. This is that mixed cluster stitch. I had done 18 first and then 17. So, yeah, I was a little bit behind. One of my other finished items, oh, don't look at those, are, been working on squares for Billy. One of the other ones that I finished was, Charlie had asked me to do this scarf, and this is the Save the Tata scarf. Now, I did it continuous. It's a well-written pattern, fairly easy to follow. The only thing is, if you do it continuous, you most likely you'll have to, what I found is start from this way and do your letters up this way if you do it in continuous. Now you can see how long this is, and I used an I hook. In her pattern I think she called for a G hook, but I had started the test pattern with just, yes, she'd sent me this and asked me if I would test it. And of course, when she did send me that and I did it, you know, I thought I was getting the whole scarf. And I teased her, sent her a picture, and told her this is the shortest scarf I've ever made. So she was just wanting to see if, you know, I could understand what was written there. But I think if I were to do this again, I would actually just work on one side that read Save the on one side, and then I would put a band around the back, and on the other side I would do tatas, so that when it laid you'll see Save the tatas. And you can do that by just doing each square, you know, with the lettering, and then building something that goes just around the back of your neck. It will be a little bit longer, but I have no problems with that. Sometimes I like longer scarves, and because of the cause, it's worth it. So, I did show you that. I haven't asked her if I could show it, but I'm going to go ahead and show it. I think she's already talking about releasing the pattern. So, sorry, Charlie, if I burst your bubble. Like I said, the only other thing that I have been working on has been some bags. I have taken a couple of special orders on bags, custom orders, and normally I don't mind doing that, but I have taken so many that it keeps me from making the regular bags because there's a different formula for making some of the special order bags. So, not a problem, just slows things up. You know, life happens. And then I have been having to do a lot of errand running this week, so it's kind of slowed up progress for other things that I want to do. And while I was doing all of that, I happened to look over to my side over here, and I have 2 big bags of scrap yarn there, and another one back behind me. There's like a little table that's behind my chair that generally I just stack the things for winter wear back there, but now it's just accumulating crap, so it needs to be cleaned off. But you know, that never happens to any of you, right? It's just me. Maybe not just me. But anyway, I have another full bag of scraps there, and I have not made a scrap blanket in a long time, so I am planning on getting another scrap blanket started. And you know, scraps seem to be surrounding me and driving me crazy. And this Stash Buster cowl I thought would help, and I thought Jada's blanket and stitches, you know, her calendar blanket would help. But I'm behind on the calendar blanket, so I need to get things done on it. So I decided this week I'm gonna spend a little time with Jada, get some of those things caught up, because I still haven't shown you my blanket. And I have quite a few extra goodies on it. So, well, not quite a few, a couple extra goodies on it that reflect some things about me and my life. So, yeah, it's going to go that way. I hope all of you are keeping an eye out for Chevyrell's Etsy shop. You know, she has the issue with the teeth, and I don't know about you, but I love Chevyrell. The minute I see one of her videos, I know that it's one of those I'm going to watch all the way through. I don't care if it's 2 hours long. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to stay right there and watch that video. Because the minute she says grab your drink, I'm grabbing a drink. And I'm sitting down to watch Chevyrell. I have loved Chevyrell from the very beginning. I mean, I knit, but I do not knit the way that she knits. And I just love all the different things she has. I love seeing the stuff room. I love Olive and Ditto. So, those of you that pray for Chevyrell and her teeth. She did tell us that it's going to cost a little bit more, it looks like. And so maybe we should pray away that spot on her. Light candles, spells, whatever you do. Let's see if we can get a little healing Chevyrell's way. And maybe she won't have to go through as much as what she thinks she's going to have to go through. And if she does, let's all support her by purchasing items from her Etsy shop. I've seen some of the stitch markers, or what she wants to call stitch markers. And they're absolutely stunning. Of course, when they first went up, I didn't buy any because I thought, well, I have to go do this. I'll come home and I'll, buy something then. Too late. Everything was gone. So keep an eye out. Favorite her shop so that you can be one of the first ones to see. And let's support Chevyrell in every way that we can, so that she can get a good healing and good report. And hopefully it won't cost the hundreds of thousands of dollars she thinks it's going to cost for her teeth. So that's my service announcement. Just, let's take care of Chevyrell and our people in our community. Because knitters and crocheters are very different. I prefer to crochet. I don't mind knitting. It's just my preferred. I've been doing it since I was 5. So, always revert back to crochet. However, I do have a couple of knitting projects. I've got that sweater that I need to do. I did find the pattern. Like I said, it is in the Japanese knitting book. So I am going to be starting on that sometime this weekend. And this was the shawl that I've been working on with that It Feels Like Butter. And this is the one where I'm just playing with stitches as I go along. Most of you know that garter stitch is my absolute favorite stitch. So it's probably going to be done mostly in garter stitch. But I do have some stockinette in there, and I do have a couple of eyelet rows. And I just play as I go along. I'm knitting on, like, okay, eyelet row, knitting, stockinette. That's the fun thing about working on a project that is, to me, it is a mindless project, because I know I can just sit down and do it and do whatever my heart's content to do. I don't have to worry about reading a pattern. I can just go and go until I'm ready to be finished with it, bind off, and then go on my merry way, weaving the tails. So that's it for that part. It's going to be a short one today. We're going to go ahead and start with the What in Tarnation. I have sewing to get to. I have quilts I need to get quilted. So I've got to get up there and get to work. In the meantime, what in tarnation? I cannot imagine having a bear claw its way into my house. However, there was one Tennessee couple family that found they had a bear claw its way through the siding to get into their home. Tennessee family had an unusual scare when a bear clawed through the siding of their home and tried to break into a storage room. Susan Forbes of Pigeon Forge said her daughter was first to hear the ruckus at the back of the house, and she looked to find a bear that the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency said weighed about 300 pounds. That's a good-sized bear. The bear had clawed a hole into the external siding of the home and was trying to make its way into a storage room. Forbes called the Pigeon Forge Police Department, and an officer used a siren to draw the bear away from the hole and onto the porch, where the animal laid down. The TWRA officers were summoned to the scene and tranquilized the bear for relocation. Relocation is not always successful. Just saying. Some of these bears are stinkers. Forbes said the bear left a sizable hole in the house. She said she doesn't know what attracted the bear to her house, since no trash or food had been left out. She said the hole has been boarded up to prevent bears or other animals from returning. A Montana hotel experienced a similar bear break-in recently, when a Bruin climbed through a window and ended up cornered in a bathroom. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks game wardens tranquilized the bear and relocated it to a safe distance away from the building. Now this next one I find rather cute. It's an ingenious way to get participants to learn a language. Jewish group hosts Yiddish for Dogs class in New York. A group dedicated to promoting and preserving the Yiddish language held a special class for an unusual group of students, Yiddish for Dogs. The Yiddish for Dogs class held Sunday in New York Central Park featured dogs and their humans learning commands such as sit and stay in Yiddish. The class was put on by the nonprofit Workmen's Circle, a group dedicated to the promotion of the Yiddish language. Learning to train our dogs using Yiddish commands is one way we keep our cultural heritage alive while having fun, the group said in a Facebook post. The group says it teaches more than 800 students annually. It was unclear whether the canine pupils were included in that tally. Just find that cute. You have to watch out for thieves all the time. This next one, church claps back at AC thieves. It's hot where you're going. An Ohio church's sign is going viral for its tongue-in-cheek response to thieves who stole the building's air conditioning unit. Whoever stole our AC unit, keep it. It's hot where you're going. Pastor Gus Brown of Akron Alliance Fellowship Church said the 3,500 air conditioning unit was taken from the Akron building just days after it was installed. It was a brand new unit that we just put in. We hadn't even made the first payment on it yet. It had only been in a few days. The church responded to the theft with a message on its marquee sign. Whoever stole our AC unit, keep it. It's hot where you're going. Brown said the message isn't meant to be taken literally, and the church believes there is room for reconciliation if the thieves make amends for their crime. Staying on this path will only get you one place, and we don't want you to go there. Our desire is to even see him in our church one day, Brown said. Now this next one, if I were you, I would suggest you go look for the video for this one. I did see the video, and I don't know how this worker stayed on his feet. Disney World worker carrying balloons nearly swept away by wind. A Walt Disney World visitor captured a video of a worker carrying a large load of balloons in a Halloween parade, nearly being carried off by the wind. And it does look like his feet leave the ground. The video, filmed by Eric Camellis at the Florida theme park, shows a cast member struggling against the wind while holding tight to about 24 balloons. The wind threatens to take the balloons from the man, or perhaps carry him off with them. But he comes out victorious in the struggle. They said Mickey's Not So Scary Party, but they didn't say not so windy. Camellas wrote, the brave cast member whom slays the wind monster in this video is okay. But you do see it looks like his feet leave the ground at least once. Now, those of you that live in New York and have been to Manhattan, you've seen Manhattan Hinge. And this one is Chicago's Hinge. Sun aligns with streets for Chicago Hinge phenomenon. Monday marks the beginning of a twice-annual phenomenon known as Chicago Hinge, where the sun aligns photogenically with the grid of Chicago streets. The phenomenon, which coincides with the spring and fall equinoxes, March 20th, September 21, respectively, lasts for about a week and features the sun rising and setting in line with the buildings on Chicago's east-west streets. Michelle Nichols of Adler Planetarium said one of the best spots for viewing is at the western end of the 606 Trail. Weather forecasters said Monday's evening would likely offer the first good look at. Experts said Chicago's grid is better lined up than the more well-known Manhattan Hinge in New York. There is a video. Go look for the video. I'm not going to provide a link because you should be able to just put Chicago Hinge in the search and it should bring up the video. The video is time-lapse. It shows the sunrise and the sunset, but it's a very interesting video to see. So that's it for today. I'll see you again next week, later on this week maybe. I do have some shout outs that I need to do, but I think I'll do that tomorrow afternoon. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Remember, choose kindness.